Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Ben and Jamie Talk Football Podcast. We've got a scorcher today. Ben, what have we got on the agenda?
So we've got the Premier League review, Champions League preview,
Yeah, and
a special little, Champions League segment, goalkeeper segment even, and then some mystery quiz that I have zero clue what it actually is.
Yeah, we might do a quiz. We'll see how we do.
We'll see timings.
Whether we do the quiz or not. But yeah, it was a saucy weekend in the Premier League. We saw Arsenal drop points. We saw Forest gain points on City. And we saw Chelsea just about scrape their way through a relegation side of Leicester. So, do you know what? We're going to start there because Ben is obviously a resident Chelsea fan. And Cole Palmer is the main topic of conversation here because we were talking about one of the best players in the world about 4 months ago, I'd say. Everyone was all over Cole Palmer. He was scoring 4 goals a game. And it just seems like now not a single thing goes right for him. What are your thoughts, Ben?
Do you know what? You could tell. You're
just for those of you who are watching this on the video and unaware, Ben is currently in his nan's basement today. So if we have any pauses or technical difficulties where Ben has to go and do something or whatever, that's going to be that. So it's going to be a little bit scuffed, but we'll move and do the best. Obviously, for those of you who don't, Chelsea came out 1-0 on top against Leicester. Cucurella with a goal. I've seen comparisons to Marcus Alonso between the two of them. So we'll ask Ben about that as well in a minute. But yes, Cole Palmer, what do you make of it, Ben?
You could tell when he was going to take it that he was going to miss it. Honestly, you knew the circumstances, the fact, one assist in the last 20 games, or something stupid. It wasn't a comfortable watch. I watched it on stream and I was going to go to the game as well. I'm kind of glad I didn't because that would have been hanging on to a game against Leicester. Not very fun. But yeah, he'll come back. He's just a bit broken at the moment. That's the word, probably.
Yeah. I mean, swings and roundabouts. I think we're talking about a player who isn't just a form player. He is a world-class player, in my opinion. And he is in bad form right now, which doesn't mean that he's not a world-class player. If it was, your Marcus Rashford, where they're always up, always down, that's a purple patch player. But I think Palmer has done it for a consistently long time, and we've seen the quality he's got. I imagine he will not be that purple patch player. Chelsea for the top 4. I mean, that win did see you go above Manchester City, who we'll get onto in a minute. How are you feeling for the Champions League running?
We will see. That's all I'm going to say. We will see. I don't want to say we will. I don't want to say we won't. Because the top, we'll get into it with other teams, but that middle to 4th at the moment is so compact.
Top 10.
Yeah.
The top 10.
You take it away, Liverpool, Arsenal, even Forest a little bit. Maybe.
Arsenal's bad form, 4 points ahead of Forest. We will get into it, but who knows? Could we see him drop even lower? Anyway, the big result of the weekend, as she smashed something to the left of me. We're going for scuffed episode of the year.
Yep. Yes.
But the biggest result of the weekend had to be Nottingham Forest, didn't it?
100%. I mean, if Southampton held on to it, it could have been that. But City did look. Doku, to be fair to him, is one of the weirdest players I've ever seen in the Prem. He looks so good, but his end product is like he couldn't finish a 0.99 XG chance at this point. It's fair. He's so technically good. He's just one of them that I don't know.
Well, I mean, Forest, in their typical way this season, whenever playing a top team, didn't control the game at all. Came away with a similar amount of chances, though, as Man City. And, I mean, a close 1-0 game. I mean, look, they had 2 real chances, didn't they? Both for Hudson-Odoi. One which Ederson saved absolutely fantastically. The second one, though, I mean, Should it have been a 0-0 game in the end?
I think Forest deserved it. I thought they were a better team. Goalkeeper, Sells, unbelievable. Like, you think about it, he's got the most clean sheets in the league. He's actually might win the Golden Glove. We're talking about a Nottingham Forest goalkeeper. Oh.
Yeah, that's annoying. There's some things that are good and some things that aren't. Anyway, we'll move from there. I'm not going to remember to cut it out either, so she can deal with that being online. No. But yeah, Sells has had an incredible season. Will he continue it next season? We see a lot of players do this, don't we? And teams in general. It just so happens this season we've had Forest, Bournemouth, Brighton, Fulham all really do quite well. Whereas, one second.
This might honestly be one of the most botched episodes I've ever seen. He's losing his head. Typical Scouser.
She's asking for the iPad, but I don't know where it is. I just said, just come get it. She's just like, I'm not going to come back on screen after what I've just done. But we all saw you. It's in the video of you twerking on the stairs.
So if I've got it from it.
Anyways, we'll go from there. What were we talking about?
Forest keeper.
Sorry, all of the top four. Well, the four teams that have really, really shone this season. Is there going to be a big drop off next season?
Oh, 100%. You see this even with Villa this season a little bit. When they start to get European football, you saw it with Brighton last season. The fixture congestion just gets to them and they fall a little bit. But then the season after, they go at it again. So I think maybe if the likes Bournemouth obviously have a really thin squad. Like, you do look at their squad and you're like, well class wise, apart from their 11, not well class, sorry, good player wise, apart from their 11, there's not really any notable, Alex Scott, David Brooks, some of their options off the bench. If Bournemouth do get Europe, if they improve them parts, I think maybe. But putting up 2 games a week for probably the whole season as a small club's not easy.
Well, I heard today that Liverpool, for getting through in the group stage of the Champions League, earned something around the figure of 80 million. Now, if you do have your Villas won't, that is not pocket change, but that isn't as much of an impact. But if a Forest, for example, who are in a very good position, do end up getting into the Champions League and getting through that first group stage phase, that amount of money that will come in for them could be, club changing almost.
Yeah.
You've got the age-old story of Ipswich, who had the great season when they first came to the Premier League and got in the top European spots and then got relegated the season after. Hopefully, we don't see any of that happen. As much as it would be nice to see not 3 up, 3 down every season, I hope it isn't any of the teams that have had a fantastic year this year. Arsenal and Man U. I suppose that was the headline game of the weekend.
Yep.
Did it disappoint? I don't think so. I thought it was quite good.
I don't think so. I thought United turned up for it. I generally think, considering how bad United have been, it was probably the one game you actually thought United. You look at the game against Southampton, the games they've taken victories from, they've gone, we haven't played that good. But then yesterday, they looked like a team again. And I don't know whether that was just Arsenal's weakness or what was it United finally coming together. I mean, last week I was calling for Amorim to get sacked, so we'll leave that. But I think it's a bit of both. I think Arsenal are probably shocking at the moment. It'll be interesting to see. I mean, we'll talk about it Friday, about Arsenal-Chelsea next Sunday.
Yeah.
Because that is a game of 2 teams that aren't probably the best right now going at it.
And are you at home for that one or away?
We're away. It's at the Emirates.
That's going to be a rough one. Well, I think I was on the corner of Amorim has to stay. It would be ridiculous to bring a manager in who has not had much time, has got a completely new system, and has none of the players that he wants. And interestingly, Sir Jim Ratcliffe has also come out saying that exact same thing today. He has not got the players or the tools that he's needed, and he's doing he said he's doing a good job with what he's got. Personally, I don't think it's a good job.
No.
I think it's not far off of what I expected. And he's got a free pass. Even if they do go out to Sociedad in midweek in Europe, I think given what he's got, all the players that were bought were Ten Hag signings and everything like that. He has got that bit of slack for this season.
Yeah.
And I'd probably say the first couple of months of the next season. But if it gets to October, he's at around mid-table and the performances aren't great, he's had a couple signings, then they might be looking for a bit of panic time maybe for Amorim.
Yep.
I do think that Manchester United like to show up for these big games.
Yep.
And I think that was the big issue after the Liverpool game when they came away 2-2 and they were furious at themselves for not being able to produce that week in, week out and really, really perform. Again, it was one of them ones this week, where we had the exact same thing. They performed against the bigger side. Granted, Arsenal missing that striker right now, and it really does show, doesn't it? So, yeah. Ben, I'll leave you on one comment, which has just come in. How aggressive do you think United will be in the summer?
It depends on what they can sell. You look at their players; they're not really. You wouldn't say any of their players are really sellable. As in, like, you can't go out there and they'll. Yeah, exactly. So I think it will really depend on that. Obviously, there is the whole thing they have to sell to spend now. They can't go and chuck 200 million and not sell anyone. Their FFP is so tight that they're giving their players soup. Yeah, brilliant. But I think they need to sell just a few players. Maybe get Osimhen or Gyökeres in. There is a lot with Osimhen at the moment and United, so we'll see. But I think maybe a striker, and I don't even know. I still think they need a left wing back. I don't think Patrick Dorgu is good enough, and I'll stand by that. But he is young, so give him time, whatever.
He also have Luke Shaw if he ever overcomes his injury.
Yeah.
I think for United, like you say, they do need to sell to buy. We're all very aware of that. I can't see anyone coming in for Højlund or Xerxes.
No.
Especially not at the price they paid, and they're only in the first year of their contracts or second for Højlund. There is only one asset, I think, two. Marcus Rashford, who may go when he returns from his loan. They'll probably get a permanent deal for him, but nowhere near the value that you would have thought Marcus Rashford would have been a couple of years ago. And Garnacho is the only other one I think who hasn't quite gotten in with the regime of what Amorim's bringing in. Could go for a very decent sum to Spain or Italy. I could imagine seeing him go to. And that could fund maybe one or two transfers. You say Gyökeres there. I don't think they'll ever, this window, get the money to sign him. Osimhen's a different story because Napoli also trying to ship him on. So that's a bit different. But Sporting are not going to have a lack of people looking to buy him.
No.
So it won't be easy. And I'll put one quick little transfer hint out there, which I think Isak looks like he is likely to go this transfer window. Could Newcastle, if they're cashing on Isak, get Gyökeres?
Oh,
they've got the money for the wages.
Do you know what? I'll throw my own one. I think United will go in for Jonathan David. I've wanted Chelsea to go in for him, but for free, I think they'll bank on it.
He's out of contract, isn't he?
Yeah, so I think United will bank on that at the end of the season and get him in.
Not a bad shot.
Just a quick one. Your camera's froze for me. I don't know if it's
I might be all right, but I'll just do the old.
Yeah. It's been like...
That fixed it?
Still frozen for me. There you go. You're back.
Yeah.
You're back.
Okay, wonderful. We are on the technical difficulties tonight. I think Newcastle will need Champions League for Gyökeres. I mean, money talks, though, doesn't it? There is a money talks thing. You know, look at the Saudi. Yeah, Saudi's a perfect example. You know, and you know they got Isak in, who was not at a similar position to Gyökeres when it all happened. So it could happen. It's not out of the question. I think they'll get Europe of some sorts. Newcastle. So it could be enough. Anyways, moving on, we've talked about the Premier League. Obviously, Liverpool, the only team we haven't really mentioned. There's not too much to talk about because we played Southampton. It did make a bit of a meal of it in the first half. Granted, their goal did come out of absolutely nothing. A bit of a miscommunication between Alisson and Van Dijk. Although, what I will say is, I've watched it back a fair few times now, and I do think Alisson is fouled. Your camera's gone. Fouled on the build-up to the goal. However, if he because he gets back up and gets in position to save it again, that is what is given the goal. Whereas if he just goes down when Fernandes piles into him, they're probably going to go back and say, no, that's a foul. That's that. Because he definitely caught him. Ben, your camera's gone, by the way.
Is it back?
Nope.
Back?
Nope.
Fucking hell.
There you go. You did it.
There.
Oh, okay, you're back. All right. Anyways, before Ben gets even more messed up, let's move on.
Can I ask a question? And it's one question. The Liverpool second penalty.
I think it's penalty, but I think it's
the thing is, I see it's happened so much, and I'm like, when I watched it at first, to be fair, I thought, nah, that's never a penalty. I do understand why, but they give it for the handball, apparently.
It is handball. It's stupidity, really. What was his name? Was it Sugawara? I can't remember what his name was now. No, Sugawara is the winger. What's his name? He's the Japanese.
Centre back, yeah.
Sugawara. I was right. Oh, my ball knowledge is brilliant. The first penalty is one of them. It's one of the ones where we always see given now, where if a player nicks in front and they get their calf kicked or their foot kicked at all by the person trying to clear it, it's really unfortunate, I think, for a defender. But it is a penalty and it's a clever attacking play. I personally think I wouldn't ever want to see that really given as a pen. I just think it's so minuscule. It's quite unfair, really, because it's not like it's actual attacking brilliance going round a man and getting your foot kicked out. You've just chucked your leg in front to get kicked. Still good play by Nunes. The second one, if he just runs normally, he's probably going to hit his belly, his arm, maybe, but it would have been down his side, and it would have probably bounced out for a corner, which would have been absolutely no issue for Southampton compared to a penalty. But he physically moves his arm down into it and pushes down onto the ball to control it into his way. It must have been just a complete lapse of concentration. I watched under 8 football this week. My son was playing, and the ball got crossed in, and the player behind the goalkeeper caught the ball, dropped it straight away. But it's one of them things that kids do, and it was honestly like watching that happen. Oh God, what have I done? I thought I was playing in the park. Absolutely stupid, and I was very happy because it could have been a stressful last 5 minutes. I think there was actually 7 minutes added on at the end of the half or something like that. And if Southampton, throwing it up, they got the big man on Yachu. They could have just kept launching balls up, causing a lot of issues, and we could have dropped points. And that would have changed the entire weekend because Arsenal would have been going into a game not 16 points behind, but 14 points behind. And that does kind of give a fighting chance. But yeah, that's my opinion on the handball. I personally think stupidity, but it was a handball.
Yeah.
All right. Anyways, Champions League time?
Yep, 100%.
Okay. Right. Let me just bring this up. Maybe on football.
Again, I have my thoughts are all in here. So I'm literally relying
in case we have any questions on what and stuff like that.
Fair enough.
Right, we're going to try to keep it a bit more headliney, right? Focus on the big games. Arsenal, of course, are through.
No point.
7-1. We got that one a bit wrong last week. We said that. Actually, I'm going to restart this because sorry to those on the podcast listening, but we can turn this into a video. Champions League round of 16. We've had the first leg. We had some wacky predictions last time, which some might still come true. Others not looking so positive. Let's start off with Arsenal, which we both said might go a bit tight for PSV to give them a good run for their money. 7 goals later for Arsenal, and we look like a pair of idiots, which is why I'm not wearing a Liverpool top today to try and, fix it up. And Ben, you also made a bit of a...
I don't know what we're talking about. We may as well just get on to the next one.
Okay, let's move on to the next one. We'll cover the other English side. Aston Villa, they threw 3-1 lead now.
3-1. Yep.
Yeah. To me, I wouldn't be surprised if it ends 5-2 on aggregate would be my sort of prediction. Arsenal obviously going to rest their players. They'll rest
players.
Probably still win 3 or 4-0 because PSV were just so toothless. Dortmund Lille 1-1.
It's
Just give me a prediction. Go on, give me a random score.
It's a Dortmund, ain't it, or is it Lille? It's not Lille, ain't it?
It is at Lille.
Yeah, because it was. I think Lille will go through 2-1.
I think now with a home lead,
yeah,
you definitely could see him go through. Barcelona made it a little bit tougher than we thought. But less goals. We both predicted a little bit of a goal fest. They are going to be at home this time, but only 1-0 lead. Do Benfica stand a chance?
And they've got no Kubarasi because he was sent off very early on. So that probably means what? Araujo Christensen, I presume. It's at Barcelona, is it? Or is it?
Yeah, it's at the Camp Nou or Nou Camp, whichever way you prefer.
Or whatever stadium they're playing in at the moment. I think Barcelona will come. Yeah, Camp Nou's getting renovations.
Oh, I didn't even know. Wherever they're playing, then they're training ground.
So I think they'll go through 2-0. I think Barca, yeah.
You don't think Benfica's got a single goal over 2 legs?
I think they'll just go. Maybe they'll nick one.
Okay, I could see a 3-1.
I think 2-1 maybe. That's probably fair.
Inter Milan 2-0 up against Feyenoord, going back home.
Yeah.
Couple goals.
1-0. I'll just go 1-0.
Milan 1-0. One result which maybe we didn't see coming. Oh, very, very poor Leverkusen side.
Yeah. Awful.
Bayern Munich. I don't think, and they've had a pretty good record against Bayern. I did say, I don't know what I predicted, but I did say there are certain teams that have Champions League prowess, and that is what Bayern Munich will have that will get them through. I think we maybe saw that. We saw that Champions League side of them come out. I cannot see Bayern Munich throwing a 3-0 lead.
No.
I would probably go as far to predict they have never done that in their history of the Champions League knockouts. I know they've had some spankings. They've also spankings, but I don't think they've ever won a game 3-0 and thrown that away.
No, I can't think off the top of my head. No.
Yeah. Which leaves us just with 2 games, the 2 poster games probably of the round of 16, right? Do you want to start in Madrid? Or do you start?
Yeah, we'll start in Madrid. Because you said, can I quote, Real Madrid are going to batter Atletico Madrid.
I think my battering did mean 3-0 or 3-1 was my battering prediction.
What was it, 2-1?
No, I think it was 2-1 in the end. But 3-1 isn't a thing. Isn't far off of 2-1. And I thought Real Madrid. I mean, that's goal by Brahim Diaz.
Yeah.
My God, I've never seen
that was a goal. Honestly,
so differently by not even moving.
That was a good.
Oh, it's beautiful.
That was a game just generally of bangers. The Alvarez goal as well was beautiful from the edge of the box. Just top corner, beautiful finish. I think Atletico will. I think they'll do them. I think because they've got the home advantage again. I think Atletico will do them. I think they'll go 1-0, go to extra time, and then I think Atletico will score again.
I would love to see it. I'd love to see that one run late. I'd love to see Wednesday night. I'm just going to chill out and watch that run late into the night. It would be great to see. Will I see it? I don't know. I think Real Madrid, they may even play for it 0-0. They really might. Courtois and Rudiger back in training, ready for this game. It's sort of the chips are all falling into place more and more. Every single week that goes by with Real Madrid, they just get better. Every week throughout the season, they get better and better, especially in the Champions League. So if we were to play them, if it all went, both teams kept going through, Liverpool I'm talking about, by the semi-finals, they're going to be bloody cooking, and they're going to be very dangerous. So do I feel confident? I don't know. We've got to get there. We'll get on to Liverpool in a second. But Real Madrid, Atletico. You think Atletico are going to go through?
Yes.
I think that Real Madrid will probably end up 3-1 on aggregate is my prediction.
Yeah.
Right. The last game of the round of 16. One where there was, in the first leg, the man of the week for the whole of the Champions League. Maybe one of the best goalkeeping performances of all time in the Champions League knockout stage. Could be. It's in with a shout. There's definitely been some honourable mentions throughout the time. And we'll talk about some of the keepers that have them honourable mentions shortly. But Liverpool came out with the best and biggest smash and grab I think I have ever seen of my life. I mean, I was on the edge of my seat, screaming and crying for about 85 minutes or so, in pain, watching what Dembele, Kvaradona, and
Barcola
were doing to our team. And every single time I watched one of them come off the pitch, other than Dembele, I just felt so much more relieved. And that's not to say that the players they did on did a bad job, because Doué had a great effort, saved once again by Alisson, who just was not going to be beaten. It is one of those performances. Let's not get carried away and say he does that every week, because he doesn't. He might pull off a lot of saves similar to that every week, but that was one of them performances that was at a whole nother level where you just have to sit back and really applaud it, don't you?
Yeah, no, it was. I mean, we'll get into it with the goalkeeping segment, but it was a really good performance. PSG, very unlucky. But I think now that they're going to Anfield, I think it's tie over. I think Liverpool will take, and they'll probably win 2-0. I think PSG just won't have much luck at Anfield as they would at home. I don't think they will.
Over 2 legs. Oof. I mean, if Alisson does manage to keep 2 clean sheets against them, we'll be through and I'll be happy. But that would be an incredible display. Look, Konate, I will touch on it as well. Very, very lucky. In my opinion, I would have given a red card. I think VAR got it right in terms of they didn't see enough to overturn, which is the rules of VAR. The semi-automated offside as well for that Kvaratskhelia goal was brilliant. I mean, give me that in the Premier League any day of the week, please. So, yeah, I think VAR, look, the referee, in my opinion, got it wrong, but VAR got it right for what they're meant to do. That's a whole different debate. We'll talk about VAR when there's more controversial things in the future, I reckon. Just to leave it to the Premier League, because that's the best thing to talk about VAR with. I think I back us for either a 2-1 or a 1-1 result at Anfield, maybe even 2-2. Which would see us through. And I'll take any result when we go through. I'll take a 1-0 loss and win on penalties. All I care about in the end of the day is going through. You know, that's all that matters, and that's knockout football. So just to clarify, we both said Liverpool go through. We both said Villa go through. We both said Arsenal will go through. Both said Inter will go through. Both said Bayern will go through. Both said Lille will go through. Both said Barcelona will go through. The only thing we haven't said the same is the Madrid derby. Let us know in the comments down below who you think is going to make it through to the quarterfinals of the Champions League. And we'll see you all in another one. Peace.
Peace.
Right. That's not the end of the podcast, don't worry, lads, but that is the end of that segment. Next up, myself and Ben are going to be talking about our top 5 goalkeepers of all time. Donnarumma is probably not on either of our lists, because otherwise he would have saved that Harvey Elliott shot. But Alisson might make it onto one of the lists. Who knows? Or both. We shall find out. As we go along, let us know whose list you think is more correct. And also, let us know your comments in your comments down below. And if you're in the chat right now, let us know your top 5 goalkeepers from 5 to 1 as well. We want to see it. We want to see what you guys think. And if I see one single person put David Raya in there, talking to you Arsenal fans, you're wrong. Okay. Anyway, I think Ben, I normally push you onto the start of these ones, but I think I want to take it.
Take the lead. I
don't want to take it away because I know you're going to disagree with me. And I think it'll be good to see your outraged reaction. In number 5, I've gone for Petr Cech. I think 5th was a very hard spot, and by the way, just want to say, I'm not putting fucking Yash in this. Before anybody.
Yeah, that's fair.
So I've watched clips of him. I don't watch him play. I'm not a Russian, and I'm going off people I've actually seen. 5th I've gone for Petr Cech. You can see the Chelsea fans stinging it up in there. What made me put Cech lower is his time at Arsenal. I think that really scuffed his career up a little bit. Prime Cech at Chelsea, absolutely. But I'm trying to look at this on the career as a whole of what I've watched. And Cech threw his career away when he went to Arsenal. He should have just retired and become the Chelsea goalkeeping coach, in my opinion. So Petr Cech in 5th. Go on, Ben. Do you want to interject? You want to say something?
Just
no, go on. You want to say something?
No, just keep going.
Okay, all right. In 4th, I've gone for Neuer. Neuer, the sweeper keeper, maybe originated the role. And he has had an incredible career. There's been a mistake or two in his time that I've watched. And for me, that pushed him down just a little bit on the list. Still better than Petr Cech. In third, I've gone for no, I'm joking. I wouldn't do that to you, Ben. I've gone for Alisson in third. On a similar note to Neuer, I think that what Neuer did was brilliant. In my opinion, maybe it's a biased opinion with red tinted glasses on because I am a Liverpool fan, and that's going to happen. Shoot me, but it's my opinion. Football's all about opinions. Alisson has advanced what Neuer did. He has made incredible saves time after time, and for me, he's number 3. In second, I've gone for Buffon. Are you going to cry about that one? Buffon second.
No, that's fair. That's fair.
That's fair. Yeah.
That's
okay.
fair.
I mean, look, number 2 and 1. You might agree with me on. I gone Buffon 2 and Casillas 1. You could even toss a coin and pick between the two of them. I think they both throughout the 2000 and 2010 sort of period, they both were absolutely incredible. I just have a slight preference towards Casillas. Don't know what it is. I think maybe it's because he's just an amazing Spaniard. But yeah, that's my top 5. Ben is looking very upset. And we're going to hear what his top 5 is now.
Yep. Right. I haven't obviously got it to hand, so I'm honestly using my brain here. So, number 5, I've put Van der Sar. I think he's one you missed out on your list. I think he is top 5 for everything he'd done at United under Ferguson. Yeah, I think it's hard to argue that he shouldn't be top 5. Number 4, I went Czech. Now, I'm not biased, so I didn't put mine in the top 3 because I think there was 3 that are better, which are the 3 you've said. But, yeah, I mean, Czech 15 goals conceded. They still, for a goalkeeper measurement, to concede 50, or actually, Czech conceded like 13 because he missed the 2 last games. So they conceded 2 in his last 2. So he's conceded 13 goals over a season in 36 games. So that's crazy. He's won Prems, won a Champions League, was a big part of that Champions League, was the reason we won it. I mean, how many saves he had in that final, I don't want to know. I don't want to think about that final because it still drives me up the wall. Bayern had, 47 shots that game? Czech, penalty shootout, Robin, missing. Yeah, harsh. It was him and third, which is Neuer. Neuer's similar to the one who's above. Longevity, won everything. Especially when growing up, Neuer was honestly probably the best keeper in the world for me. Just how he saves the ball. Everything about Neuer is maybe his distribution is at points a bit scruffy. Number 2, Buffon. And then number 1, Casillas. I think Casillas is the best of all time. I want to quickly say something, though, and this is going to probably be the most outrageous thing I ever say. I think in the back of my head, if ter Stegen stayed consistent like he was in 2016, he would be in this list.
I think that's a fair shout. You could also put some other names like I said 5th has a lot of mentions.
Yeah, De Gea.
Van der Sar was one of them. De Gea wasn't one of them. Onana, no, I thought we were listening to De Gea. So
Onana?
We'll list anyone from United, apparently. No, I also think Oblak as an honourable mention. Courtois, I mean...
So, yeah, now you've mentioned him. Do you know when you said best goalkeeping performance of all time?
What, Courtois or Oblak?
No, about Alisson. So... I thought you were meant to say kind of, and then I'm meant to.
Yeah.
No. So, do you remember that final?
Yeah.
In, I think 2020.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I think Alisson's is up there. That's fair.
That's why I said one of. I think
Courtois is the best.
Courtois definitely had some great ones, but I think it's close because I looked at them back, and that was the 2 that sort of came to my mind. But I also have just put a mental blank on that fucking date. I would never return to that final again. But no, I definitely think there is a shout for Courtois on that as well. Did you know that Van der Sar conceded on average over one goal a game for 4 years straight in his career?
Oh yeah, I did not actually know that.
A lot of people think, Van der Sar was brilliant because he played for Manchester United. Yes, he had 2 bruises in the back in front of him in Vidic and Ferdinand and an incredible team. It's very easy to be looking like an amazing goalkeeper in a team that dominates the Premier League. And they did dominate the Premier League. I mean, he was the goalkeeper for the 3 years that they went back-to-back league titles, wasn't he? But I still remember watching Torres put 4 past, not Torres individually, but Liverpool put 4 past him at Old Trafford. And I've never seen Man U put 4 past Alisson. So there you go.
But no, was Alisson in goal for the 7-2? Villa.
Yeah. But that game was a write-off. No, I mean, I remember that game. And that was a crazy game. You know what? I still remember that game to this day. It could have been 7-7.
Yeah.
Like,
yes.
Every time Villa went forward, they scored. And every time we went forward, we'd hit the post or just miss and play a stupid pass. But we digress. That's our top 5 goalkeepers. I think, let us know in the comments who wins. For me, well, it's our own list, so we're both going to say each list is the best, right? I mean, there's different reasons.
Some of us don't put Alice in our top 5.
Some of us don't put Van der Sar in.
I think Van der Sar's got more credit.
Yeah. Do you know who played that before United?
Who?
Do you remember?
Wait, what?
Do you know who Van der Sar played for before United?
Weren't he like Fulham?
That's right, Fulham.
Yeah.
That's where he went 4 years straight. Games. I just don't like Van der Sar that much. Schmeichel?
No.
Could have been in with a shout.
Yeah, he was someone I was thinking.
Could have been with a shout. That is what I mean. There's a lot of players on that verge, isn't it? Top 5 is a hard list to do.
Yeah.
Hard number to do.
Gotcha.
I mean, look, we can end with a little quiz. I've just got to get it up.
That's fun.
Or you can quiz me if you want to find a quick subject.
You do yours and then I'll think. I'm trying to fucking... I'm trying to blimmin' think. There we go.
Okay. All right, there we go.
Because I obviously don't have a phone to use, so...
I'm looking. Right. Okay. Right. I've got a list of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Champions League comebacks. They are voted on as the greatest Champions League comebacks of all time. Obviously, there's a little bit of opinion in it. And you've got to try and name them. And then after you've named them, because they aren't ranked, you can rank them in your order as well. And I'll give you mine.
Okay.
Some are over 2 legs and some are over finals. It can be anything. It's not group stage, obviously. We're talking about knockouts and finals here. So the 6 greatest UCL comebacks. Can you name them, Ben?
Obviously, Istanbul's one of them.
Yep. 3-3.
Liverpool, Barcelona, the 4-0.
That's another one. That's also on the list.
Is there like a life limit or?
No, you give up because I honestly don't think you're going to get 2 of them.
Ajax, Spurs? Would that be?
Not on the list.
Oh, okay.
In my opinion, it should be up there. But it's not on the list.
Okay. Now this is where the mind goes. Because I cannot think of like massive. Are they all in like the last 20 years at least?
Yeah, the earliest is 2004.
Okay.
And 2 of them are filmed 2004. They're the 2 I think you'll struggle to get.
Oh, God. Yeah. No, I can't think of. Why do I feel like a Real Madrid Atletico had a really big comeback?
I'll let you know that one of those teams was on the 2004 teams.
Real Madrid Milan?
I'll let you know that both of them teams are the 2004 teams, but neither of them played against each other.
Okay.
And both of them lost. Who won the 2004?
Wait, was
Champions League?
Milan not Istanbul? Or was
So
that?
Milan was 2005.
Oh, okay.
Istanbul was 2005.
That makes sense. Okay, that's why.
Was 2004? Was that Mourinho?
What, Porto?
Yeah. Or was that earlier?
I think it might
It was
be
Porto.
actually.
Yeah, it was. It was
Yeah.
Porto. Yeah.
Okay. Oh God, I can't even think of 2004 Champions League. I wasn't old enough. I wasn't even born.
All right.
Jesus.
But I'll give him you. I'll give him you.
Please.
You won't get him. All right. So AC Milan were 4-1 up against Deportivo.
Yep, never.
And lost 4-0 in the second leg.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
And the other one was Real Madrid were 4-2 up against Monaco, and Monaco won 3-1 in the second leg. There's two comebacks that you didn't know about. So I imagine we'll probably put them 5th and 6th on the list. So
Yeah.
two more comebacks. They are very famous. I can give you the score lines if you want for one of them.
Yeah, go on.
Okay, so Team A won 4-0 at home in the first leg, and Team B won 6-1 on the return leg.
Okay. Oh God, that doesn't
Chat,
really.
if you can get it, let us know. Put your comments in if you can get it. If you can guess the comeback, 4-0 up after the first leg, 6-1 in the second leg.
I generally can't think. Why do I? In the back of my mind, I'm thinking about Celtic, and I don't know. Yeah, you can't. Celtic don't have that.
Okay, I'll add another fact in. Two of the players for the team that won 6-1 later joined the team that won 4-0 in the first leg.
Okay.
And we have talked heavily about this team tonight. One of the teams involved.
Is it two English teams?
No English teams.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, it's not who I was thinking of then. Heavily.
Oh, I do love teasing your brain with these. It's one of the most famous games ever.
What year was it?
2017.
Oh, fucking hell. Okay. Jesus. Okay. 2017, that was... 2018 was Kiev, where Liverpool lost 3-1. The year before was, I want to say Real Madrid Juventus, or it was Real Madrid Atletico. Which...
One team is Spanish. Oh, I do love this. It must kill your brain. You're going to have to do me a quiz next week just to get your revenge. Oh, it's so easy.
Presume it's not. Wait. 2017.
I would focus more on the country one of the teams is from.
Yeah, I presume it's Barca. Because Real Madrid, I'm pretty sure it was Real Madrid Atletico. So if it was in the knockouts,
So Barcelona was one of the teams.
Is it PSG?
Yes. Yeah, there we go.
Okay.
Do you know which way round it was?
Was Barcelona? They won 6-1 away, didn't they?
Well, it said PSG 4, Barcelona 0, and it says Barcelona 6. PSG 1.
Yeah.
So I assume I assumed it was at home, and also Barca are celebrating in their home kit. So I assume.
Okay,
So yeah, that was that. The other one is a Champions League final that a group of fans tried to claim is a better comeback than Istanbul. And your camera's gone in shock.
Yep. Should come back in a minute, hopefully. Should slowly.
There you go. You're back.
There you go. Cool. Champions League final. Okay, this is where go through Champions League.
A team won a treble from it.
Definitely. Oh, actually.
That is a massive hint.
Oh. Is it English?
They are an English side.
It's Man United against. Oh, it's fucking Man United again.
Mm-hmm.
It's that year that they won it under Ferguson. Oh. Yeah, but I swear that was 1997 or something stupid.
It was 99.
Oh, okay. Is it Munich?
Yep.
Yes.
Scoreline, do you remember it?
No chance.
2-1. Do you remember when the goals were scored?
Oh, Ole. Was it Ole? Yeah.
It was a big thing in the. Did you ever watch the David Beckham documentary?
No.
Oh, you should. It was quite good, actually.
No, I never got around to it.
You definitely should watch that. But yeah, it was 2-1. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer turned it around. Both goals in injury time at the end of the game. Still not better than Istanbul, in my opinion. But Ben, what we're going to do to end it off here, we're going to get in a segment because that video will go a little bit too long. Last night we saw no UCL comebacks, but tonight we might see a mighty one. Aston Villa have a chance of coming back against Real Madrid, and PSV. Are they going to come back from 7-1 down against Arsenal? Well, if they did, which they won't, that would be one of the greatest comebacks of all time. What we are going to do is rank our top 5 comebacks of all time in the Champions League. And Ben, I'm going to let you start this one off.
Right, we'll go from number 5, which from the list, should we go through the list again?
Yeah, the quick list is Tottenham, Ajax, Munich versus Manchester United, the 2-1, Barcelona versus PSG, Barcelona versus Liverpool, and Istanbul, which was Liverpool versus Milan. And chat, while we go along, in the comments down below, let us know which your favourite UCL comeback has been of all time.
Do you know what? It feels harsh, but I'm going to have to go Ajax Spurs. I think considering all the others, we'll get to the final 2, but I think that's the 5th. Then I think it has to be the United one. Again, I don't think it's as... Oh, actually... I'll go Barca PSG because it was an absolute demolition, but it feels so harsh. And then I think it's United because I think the top 2 are really hard to go against, especially Istanbul. Whether that beats it for me, I don't. I think it does, just because it was from half time or wherever it was, and 3-0 down to that Milan team that was crazy back then. Oh no, the one against Barcelona, crazy still. 3-0 down from the Camp Nou, took it to Manfield, corner taken quickly. Rest is history.
Yeah. So to clarify, your list is
Ajax Spurs, Barcelona PSG, Man United, Bayern Munich, and then Barca Liverpool and Istanbul, which is obviously Liverpool Milan.
Well, this has been a great segment because it's one of them segments where we have completely and utterly agreed on absolutely everything. Yeah. It's hard. Tottenham almost feels shoehorned in. If they had maybe won the Champions League against Liverpool, I think people would view it all very different. They'd say, "Oh, Liverpool was a great comeback versus Barcelona, but they didn't win it in the end." So, what does it really matter? And the same could apply. I'm pretty sure the Barca PSG. I don't think Barcelona won it that year, did they? In the 6-1.
What? 2017.
Oh, maybe they did.
They might have. Because that would name
Real Madrid. No, it was Real Madrid versus
Atletico?
Juventus. It was Juventus. The bicycle kicks. Mandzukic scored a bicycle kick, didn't he?
Yeah.
And then Ronaldo scored. Well, Ronaldo became Ronaldo. So Barcelona and Tottenham, both great comebacks. Don't get me wrong, but if you don't go on to win the tournament, what is the point of it? You've done nothing effectively, apart from earning a little bit more money. Then Munich with Manchester United. Look, it's great, but we've seen Tottenham come back later in the Premier League than that from bigger goal deficits. I think they were 2-0 down at one point in the Premier League and came back on 3-2. That was not too long ago. It happens. At the end of the day, it's a one-goal comeback, and a bit of momentum can do that in football. Does not take it away. We are talking about the greatest comebacks of history, and it's in the top three. Liverpool being 3-0 down to what was Messi's sort of, we will win the Champions League with Barcelona one more time or whatever, everything going against them. The conditions of that game, a lot of people forget Mo Salah was missing. Shaqiri was in our starting lineup. Wijnaldum only came on because of a foul. I think it might have been on Robertson, which forced Milner into left back. So there was just crazy things that happened, not just before that game, but during that game as well. And it was just one of them crazy nights. I mean, corner taking quickly may never be replicated. Anything of the sort, a quick thinking like that, and absolutely incredible. But 3-0 down in a Champions League final to the best team at that time, probably in the world, to come back and draw 3-3. I mean, I'm a Liverpool fan, but it's biased. But you've heard a Chelsea fan put them two as the top two. So, yeah, let us know what you think the best comebacks are in Champions League history of all time. Let us know. I obviously joke and say that there was no comebacks last night because we are pre-recorded before Liverpool PSG. We will find out. But, yeah, I imagine Arsenal won't lose a 7-goal lead or 6-goal lead. If they do...
Put that club
we
in
can't
the
do
mud.
anything but laughing, can we? But yeah, let us know what you think the results will be in the Champions League tonight, and have a great one. Peace. Right. That's it, boys. That's a wrap on
fucking
the podcast.
hell, what a session. Jesus.
It has been the most scuffed podcast ever. We apologise for that. Will be back Yep. We've got a great weekend coming up on Friday. We've got the Carabao Cup final coming up. Liverpool versus Newcastle. Arsenal have got a chance to gain 3 points back on Liverpool as we're not playing for the weekend. And the top four will just keep on heating up. Arsenal are, of course, going to be playing Chelsea. And that will have great implications on the Premier League. So make sure you drop a subscribe, drop a follow, drop a like. Come join us live on Big Up for the podcast. We go live at 8:30 on Mondays and Fridays. Link is in the description down below. And we will see you all then. Goodbye.
Boy.